G'day brewers, Gavin here from the Homebrew Network. Today, we're going to brew a beer from one of Australia's most iconic craft breweries, Kaiju. So stick around, grab a beer, and let's get into it. You don't know this beer? You must have been living under a rock. Just before we dig into the recipe, a quick reminder, my brewery series videos, they're not made up recipes, they're not clone recipes, these are the actual brewery recipes at the time of recording at least. The only changes I make are small adjustments to account for differences in hop utilisation, mainly due to the difference in size of the systems and the way the different systems run. I first met the Kaiju brothers way back in 2014 at the Ballarat Beer Festival, where they were mainly a cider company with their Golden Axe cider. They were even listed in the official program as a cider company. But luckily for us, and for me, they started brewing beers under the name Monster Mash. And if you've been around the channel long enough, you might remember this clip where I said they had the best beer at the festival.
But there was a new brewery I found, Monster Mash, and I loved it. I didn't try the cider, I'm not a huge cider fan, but both their beers were sensational.
Now, I pestered them for a few hours that day, trying to get as much information as I could about the beers. And ever since then, I've kept in touch and always enjoyed what they put out. Over the last few years, I've also been lucky enough to be at the Australian International Beer Awards and seen them win multiple medals over multiple years for multiple beers, including a gold medal for the KRUSH, which is the beer we're going to brew today. Today, Kaiju operates across two different sites. There's the Kaiju Beer and Pizza in Hume Street, Huntingdale, which is their public venue. It's a great place to try the beers fresh, have some food, and check out their pilot small batch brewing. And then there's a large production brewery in Dandenong South, which is where the main production and packaging happens. And when you see that production brewery, you understand why Kaiju beers are so consistent and why they do so well in competitions. This is a serious production facility with a huge focus on quality control and process. But at the end of the day, none of that would matter if the beer wasn't good. And that's really why Kaiju has become such a big name in the Australian craft beer scene. Beers like KRUSH, as I said, won multiple awards over the years, and they're a perfect example of what Kaiju do so well. Big flavour, incredibly drinkable, and very consistent. So, if you ever get the chance, Kaiju Beer and Pizza is absolutely worth a visit. And if you see their beers on tap or in the shops, they're always worth trying. They're one of the breweries that helped shape the modern Australian craft beer scene, and they're still doing that today. Now let's brew Kaiju KRUSH.
As you can see here, I start in my 65 litre Brewzilla and put about 50 litres of water in it. If you don't have a 65 litre Brewzilla to adjust all your water at the start, you could get an extension pipe for your 35 litre Brewzilla, treat it there and then move some of it off into a bucket or esky or something. I like to treat all my water at once for chlorine and chloramine. That addition there looked like a lot, but it wasn't that much. The chlorine and chloramine reaction happens virtually immediately, so after I've treated it, I pump off 20 litres into my 35 litre Brewzilla. I add my water additions to the water. We're looking for a salt profile of around 2 to 1 sulfate to chloride, and I add a little bit of lactic acid for pH adjustment. I then add my malt. I know Kaiju uses Coopers, I used Atlas, and a little bit of Carapils and a little bit of Carahel. For those interested, my mill is set to 1.35 millimeters. At first glance, this beer might look fairly simple, but like most great commercial beers, the magic is really in the balance and the process rather than a long list of ingredients. The grain bill is designed to produce a very light coloured beer with a soft body and high drinkability. The goal here isn't a big sweet malt backbone, it's to support the hops while keeping the beer crisp and easy to drink. This is one of the reasons beers like this can be so hard to get right. If the beer finishes too dry, it feels thin, and if it finishes too sweet, it feels heavy. So the balance has to be spot on. At 10 minutes, I took a pH reading and we're sitting right at 5.25. I was happy with that. We mash at 65 degrees Celsius for 1 hour. And then I mash out at 76 degrees Celsius for 10 minutes. And see there, the wort is looking nice and clear now. And we sparge with about 12 litres of water. For the hops, this beer is all about modern, big tropical fruit, citrus and passion fruit type flavours, but without being overly bitter. This isn't a West Coast IPA, and it's not a hazy IPA either. It sits right in the middle, big aroma, smooth bitterness, and very high drinkability. One interesting thing about this recipe is where the bitterness comes from. In commercial breweries, a lot of bitterness can come from the later kettle editions and the whirlpool, because their systems get much higher utilisation than most home brew setups. So when brewing this at home, we can make a small adjustment to make sure we hit the same bitterness and balance as the commercial version. The hop additions are fairly simple. I still boil for 60 minutes. At the last 10 minutes of the boil, we add 15 grams of Simcoe. At the end of the boil, I wait till it calms down a little bit, and then I start the whirlpool. When the whirlpool gets down to about 95 degrees Celsius, I add 30 grams of Cascade and 15 grams of Simcoe. I whirlpool it for 10 minutes, then I turn the whirlpool off and let everything settle for another 10 minutes. I then run it to the chiller. First, I clear my chiller of any of the hot water I've been using to sanitize it. And then it gets chilled straight into the fermenter. The fermentation for this beer is very clean, and that's really important for this style. You want the hops to be the star of the show, not the yeast character. So a clean ferment at the right temperature makes a huge difference to the final beer. We ferment with a Chico strain. They use San Diego from Bluestone in Melbourne, but you could also use USO5 or any other equivalent. On this day, I used Cellar Science Cali. I added my pill, close her up, and it goes into the ferment fridge. I fermented mine at 19 degrees Celsius. When it's time for dry up, either right before the end of fermentation or at the end of fermentation, 15 grams of Cascade, 15 grams of Citra, 15 grams of Citra Cryo, 15 grams of Mosaic, and 15 grams of Simcoe. While it's not a huge dry hop, there's plenty of variety there, and that's what gives you that big, tropical, fruity punch aroma. Once you're happy with the aroma, you can crash chill it and package. And finally, probably the most important thing for a beer like this is the finishing balance. The final gravity, the bitterness, the carbonation, and even the final pH all play a big role in how bright and drinkable the beer feels. So on paper, it might look like a simple pale ale, but there's a lot going on behind the scenes to make a beer like this really work.
This one here is my one. You can probably, you might not be able to pick it up there. There's a little bit difference in the head, but you'd expect that from a canned beer and a canned beer and a keg beer. But yeah, they're identical. Look, I'll say it right here and now. Mine's a little bit fresher, so it might have a little bit more aroma at the moment. That's theirs. Oh, it's crisp, hoppy. It's not overly hoppy for you people that aren't big hop heads or anything. It's just quenchable, drinkable. Man, they're both good. I can't pick. They're nearly identical. So thanks for watching. Thanks to Nat and Callum and their families for brewing awesome beers like this and for giving us the recipe. So go and visit Kaiju's beer and pizza restaurant. Buy their beers if you see them in the shops. Just get onto them. Get onto them if you haven't. I can't believe you haven't if you're living in Australia. You must have had them by now. And just, I saw today on Facebook, they've just released, I think it's seasonal now, the Hopped Out Red. Now, I'm not sure it's exactly the same, but that original beer that I had in 2014, they had a hoppy red and a double hoppy red from memory. I might have even been a double and a triple or something. They were two big red beers. And that's what made me fall in love with Kaiju all the way back then. So thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, all that sort of stuff. Click the little bell. There is more Brewery Series videos. There's been a bit of a pause lately. I've been a little bit under the pump, but there's plenty more coming up. If there's any beer you'd like me to try and get into the Brewery Series, I ask people I know. I've always got a bit of a relationship, big or small, with the breweries that I do these for, that I've met over the years. I've been around a long time. But if you've got a local brewery, and go and ask them if they'd like to be involved in this. I'm happy to do it. I'm happy to come for a visit as long as I can get there and all that sort of thing, and maybe do a beer for them. There's a couple more in the pipeline, some local ones and some high country ones. So I'm really looking forward to getting to them over the next couple of months. So thanks for watching. Again, did I say that already? Probably, but thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Keep on brewing. And just before we finish, of course, I have to thank my Patreon members, because without them, I couldn't continue to do these videos. They support me. They support the channel. If you'd like to go and have a look, there'll be a link in the description or a QR code here to go and check out my Patreon. I'll give you the tip. They've seen me brew this twice a few months ago. So if you want to get ahead of everyone else, join my Patreon, and you'll see things before everybody else does. Take it easy. I'll see you in the next one. Keep on brewing. Now.